Welcome to Mindful Mutiny, and today we're going to be talking more about the philosophy of take out the trash and bring in the light. And so we've talked a lot about what you need to get out of your life, the trash, the clutter, the bad relationships, all of these kinds of things. We haven't begun talking, and we're going to do it today, about how do we replace these things, because we're talking about removing things that waste your time, things that waste your money, things that waste your space, things that the Andean concept of hoocha, the darkness that is loading you down, the dark frequencies, the dark energy, the dark relationships. What do you do to replace these things with? How do you replace those things when it's time for you to start bringing in the light, which is as soon as possible? So, you're getting rid of things that have weighed you down. Number one, part of your light is dark. Half and half, that whole yin and the yang thing. And so it is important to understand your shadow side. Understand your sense of why you have created these trash things around you, so that when you begin to replace them with light, you understand what your tendencies are and why you have built this kind of toxicity around you through bad relationships and bad ideas. So let's start with this. I want you to start by not saying anything bad or negative or anything of that nature about anybody in public, in private, no argument, zero talk about anybody in a negative way. See how difficult that sort of thing actually is, because it really is. And you begin to recognize, my gosh, I do a lot of talking negatively about people and concepts and ideas. And we know today that there are certain concepts and ideologies that really do need to be spoken about in a very forceful way, because they are objectively bad things for a civilization. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being upset with your neighbor and saying bad things about them. And I'm going to tell you, this is something that I've struggled with a lot in my life. But when you begin to recognize those thought patterns, those are frequencies. Those are pieces of energy that you're putting out there. That energy infects you. It infects your heart. It infects the way that you view the world from your heart perspective. When you're putting that out there, you're actually psychically creating more conflict with those people, because even though you're not saying it around them, there's a piece of them that are picking up those frequencies from you, and they're feeling it. And look, you can't make the whole world love you by saying nice things all the time, but you can reduce the toxicity in your mindset by reducing the way in which you negatively reference and talk about people. And you're going to find that as you increase the positive way that you speak of others, you are going to increase your empathy for other people. You're going to increase your ability to understand where other people are coming from, and that is going to change the way that you interact with those other people just by this tweak of the knob, which really is a big deal. So the first thing that you're going to do is to eliminate saying negative things about other people. Number two, take a look at the way that you consume social media, because this is linked to the first thing. Right now, there's a lot of things about social media that is creating greater darkness in our civilization. And there's this thing that we all kind of know is happening, but you have, let's just say you've got the same story, okay? And the story is being run by a news network, and it says, the headline says, some hiring practices have been found to be biased by this corporation. And then you have the same words, the same story, and the title says, why Walmart is racist. Okay, I'm not picking on Walmart here, okay? The why Walmart is racist is going to get the clicks, which means it's going to get the traffic, which means it's going to get the advertising dollars, which means there's going to be more titles like this one, even though the other one was perfectly sufficient to explain that certain corporations may have a bias of some kind that was picked up in some way. What this kind of viral bait does is it solidifies various narratives that split people apart. It makes us a worse society. It makes us more judgmental. It makes us less empathetic towards other people. It stops the thinking about maybe a deeper level about a concept, and it creates in you rage bait. So in what way have you internalized this kind of constant social media rage bait into the way that you think about others, the way that you think about people who don't see the world the way that you do? Because as we've been seeing in our civilization, this makes for a much darker civilization, and it makes for much darker individuals in that civilization. And so for you, very few of us have the ability to spin the world on the top of our finger. That's something that would be an amazing thing to be able to do, to make the world yours for a day. What changes would you make? However, you do have profound amounts of control over the sphere that you exist in, because you get to change the reality around you by the way that you approach it, by the way that you think about it. And so when I'm telling you, change the code on how you think and talk about other people, that is going to help you change the code on how you see your own value, how you see society, how you see people who disagree with you, and it increases your vibration in the world of reality and joy and happiness and spirit. It is a part, and very vitally, one of the first steps in bringing in the light and becoming a more spirit-based person in your life. It's these kinds of concepts that I work with people on in my coaching and therapeutic practice. And I help people increase those incredibly important, vital frequencies of love and light. And I do it with a strategic framework. And I help people increase their enjoyment, their joy, their sense of internal success, and the way that they access their higher spirit. If you would like to chat with me, because I'd like to talk to you, go to mindfulmutiny.com and click the free consultation button, because I'm open to talk to anybody. So go be something great.